I think the Trump supporters should start a MAGA party or something like that. And I think they need to stand on principle and do it no matter what. I'm sick and tired of I'm going to vote for a Republican just because it's better than Democrats. Because then you end up with Mitch McConnell, who at a moment's notice is like, Trump, turn around, I got a knife, I got to put here real quick. What's the point of supporting any of these guys?
Can he start the white party? Then we can have the red, the white, and the blue party.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
But is it going to be too racist?
White party.
But we need red, white, and blue. We need white states.
No. I'm
not white.
That's going to white people. That's going to get clipped.
Wow. That's it.
I'm being honest.
We're banned.
We're pink. Like orange, yellow, pink. No one's
said it.
white.
It's too late.
No one's work anymore.
The purple party.
You tried, Ian. You tried.
Red
We need
states
a
and
white
blue
party.
That doesn't sound the way you think it sounds, Ian.
I'm not racial.
I get what you're going for.
The MAGA party will be orange.
There you go.
It will be orange.
That's a good idea.
Orange. Yep.
I like
I'll
the
start
red,
the
white,
white
and
party
blue in
later.
theory.
Yeah, that'd be cool if we had red, white, and blue states.
Yeah,
Those are the colors of Russia, Ian.
Oh,
yeah.
And
And France.
Who are you
Yeah.
working for? The French?
Well, the French
The
agent.
white
I
states?
work alone.
No. No, but I think I don't know.
You're right. It's too racist.
I don't care
Too racial right now.
if look, we've already heard a bunch of Republicans saying sacrifice the Senate. I shouldn't say. I'm sorry. Trump supporters are saying sacrifice the Senate. Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell are basically like, don't vote for Republicans, and it's funny because I'm like, yeah, I don't care either. Like,
Well,
I'm
we
not
go
gonna
through this like every election, and the same thing with Bernie Bros. You know, they'll come and they'll be like, well, you gotta vote for our party because you don't want to vote for the fascists or you don't want to vote for the socialists, so you gotta vote for us. And then they have no incentive to do what we want. We had Donald Trump as the president, and the Republicans still would not enact the policies that he campaigned on. So why should we vote for him? Why should the left vote for the Democrats? Why should the right vote for the Republicans? Make them do work.
Have you
Sick of it.
have you been following what's going on with Jimmy Dore?
No.
So Jimmy Dore is awesome, and Jimmy Dore said that AOC and the other progressive Democrats can force a floor vote on Medicare for all. And she's basically said, no, it can't be done. We don't have the votes and blah, blah, blah. And so Jimmy's point, and he's getting attacked for it by a bunch of progressives because he dare question AOC. He said, if 14 or 15 progressives said we will not vote for Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House unless we get a floor vote on Medicare for all, she will do it because she will lose the speakership and probably to a Republican. So of course she would. And then the response they give to Jimmy is, but it won't work. And then we won't get Medicare for all. It'll be a waste of time. And it's like, so what? So what's the worst case scenario? It gets voted down. Then Jimmy said, then we'll know exactly who voted against this. But he brings up a really good point. After everything AOC has campaigned on, she does not have the political will because she's a careerist who's thinking about herself. That's why she fired the people, she got rid of some of the people that were around her that helped her get where she was. It's why she pushed them away. And it's why she walked back from some of her more extreme positions as soon as she got elected, because she's thinking about the next 2 years and her career. That's what she's interested in. And you know what? I understand that. She was a bartender, right? And I mean, I there's no disrespect. I think it's fantastic that she was a bartender and got elected. And now she's probably sitting there thinking, without this, I'm nothing. And Republicans remind her of that every single day. She likes to complain and say Republicans want to hold that against me. Well, I represent the working class, and it says right. And if you lose, if you fight the Democrats and they ostracize you and you become ineffective, and then you don't get reelected, that's where you're going back to. Now, probably she'll be an organizer or something.
She would have a TV show. She would have
For
something.
sure.
Right, something like that.
She's a rock star now,
But-
whether we like it or not.
But she wants this career. So it's really fascinating that she was supposed to be this, bastion of progressivism and leftist values. She was a card-carrying member of the Democratic Socialists. She gets elected. Now they're actually yelling at Jimmy Dore because he's like, do your job, do what you were elected for. And you know what? I completely agree with him. I like the idea of Medicare for all. I don't think it can be done. I don't think that it'll win. And I think you can't just snap your fingers and make something like that happen. But I'd like to see all the Democrats actually stand up and put their money where their mouth is. I want to know which one of these are just paying lip service to the progressives, pretending to care about this. But you know what? It's already been done for me. And I'll tell this to Jimmy, because I think, Jimmy, you're great. You want to know who would vote no on Medicare for all? It's all of them, including AOC, who won't demand a floor vote. There you go. It's all of them. It's her included. So when he comes out and he says she should do this, it just goes to show you, I don't think it matters who you vote for the most part, except for Trump. Trump was like ready to, like figuratively fire off nukes to get what he wanted. Build the wall, find the money. He was going to do it. He fires the Pentagon top brass, wants to get the troops out of Afghanistan because he's willing to make it happen to keep his promises. Almost every single other politician, except for a couple, they're going to do the same exact thing. They're going to say, I'll do this for you, vote for me, and they're going to get in, and then and they're going to do nothing. That's why we need 2 new parties. I'd love to see the progressives start a new party. Not that I think they're going to get anything done, but Trump supporters certainly have political willpower. So
I'd
even
like
if
to
they
see
lose,
it just so that both parties will be split, so it's fair.
Yes.
I don't care if the Republicans lose, and do you?
Yeah, I don't, but I also don't want to permanently give power to socialism.
But
it would be ideal if we could have 4 parties: populist left, populist right, establishment left, establishment right, and square off and really see what people want.
I think if we actually had a populist left and a populist right party, the Democrats and the Republicans would cease to exist in a couple cycles.
And that's why I want it so bad.
That's why Republicans should just do it. I'm sorry. I keep saying that. Trump supporters should just do it. Because when I see Donald Trump say that he won, and I see all of the high-profile Trump supporters and even members of Congress, I'm like, y'all are in the Trump party? Own it. Start a new party. And you can caucus with Republicans or whatever. But already these populist right-wing individuals are beating Republicans. They just need to do it. You know what? Maybe you'll lose some elections. But I'll tell you this. Is it worth empowering people like Mitch McConnell, who's going to be like, give me the moment's notice to kick Trump in the butt? No, don't do it. If you're going to lose, if the Democrats are going to win, then make the Republicans recognize they either support you or you walk. Good. Maybe the Democrats I think the Democrats are going to win in Georgia. I do.
I do too.
Trump's not on the ticket. And the Republicans are dwindling. The only reason the Republicans gained voters is because of Trump.
Yeah.
And they won't support him. Some of them will, but Mitch McConnell won't. So I think without Trump on the ticket, especially with Mitch McConnell doing this right now, it's going to be hilarious. Yeah. January 5th around the corner, and Mitch McConnell just said, basically, F Trump, don't support him at all, even in a symbolic gesture.
And today, Trump retweeted Lynn Wood saying that Kemp is going to be arrested.
That's right.
That's not going to drive voters out in Georgia.
No, you know what? You know what I think? With Mitch McConnell pleading, he's not just saying, it probably would make sense if we didn't do this. He's saying, please don't even give us symbolic support for, any kind of symbol of support for Trump. How many people are going to be like, okay, Mitch, you're right. I won't. I also won't give you control of the Senate. You will not be the majority leader. You'll be the minority leader, and you will have no power. Congratulations. You've earned it. If people don't stand up now, then we're just going to have the same garbage machine churning along endlessly. And you end up with people like AOC, who's just a careerist. There's probably a couple real progressives who got in, but I think most of them are just careerists.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the whole business of politics. Sell out to special interests, save your butt, and get as much as you can for yourself. That's essentially what the system is run on. But I think another factor to really consider here is the fact that most Americans have a lot more in common than they disagree with. And when we look at most of Americans, they are disenfranchised. They're sick of the corruption. They're sick of the special interests. They are sick of politicians lying to them and taking advantage of them, which they always freaking do. So I think there's even a probable chance of, as we're seeing this kind of political realignment, we saw just a few years ago, according to many charts and data, a lot of people being in the moderate kind of realm of politics. We're seeing them kind of move away from each other. More people are going towards more far left ideas. More people are going towards more far right ideas. But essentially, when you look at the political spectrum, it's kind of coming together in a circle, and they might actually meet each other and make a cohesive force of anti-establishmentness saying enough is enough. And if we could put aside our differences and learn to respect each other in a kind of republic system where let be as other people's want to be left alone, I think there's a possibility that this could essentially happen. Well, could be something significant.
You brought this up. Michael Malice brought this up. Divorce.
Yes.
What do you think about the idea of like peaceful separation?
I am so pro divorce. I want to split it. I'm 100% down for it, and I'm so glad that I live in West Virginia, which would be red as hell. I'm
It's a second reddest. I think Wyoming. I think is yours. So what's funny is I hear a lot from the left when they're like, if that were to happen, the red states would become a third world nation. And no, I mean, maybe, but you know what? I don't think the people advocating for this care at all. I think they're like, okay.
Have they
We
been
have
to
the
New York
most
City
land.
lately? Like, have they been to Brooklyn? Like, have they seen the
most
rats?
Land. We won't have to pay the welfare for everybody in the cities. The only thing that I've complained about when the left put out their map, we can't let them control the whole West Coast because we're going to need ports on the Pacific. Other than that, I'm down for like their proposed split. I think it was like Amy Siskand or something put out a proposed map.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really?
Kansas land on the bottom,
Yes.
and then like United
New
States
Canada.
of Canada. Yeah. I was like, I am so down for that, except we need a port on the Pacific.
We could work out a deal with Mexico.
Or we could just
Alright.
take over some. I'm turning
No,
imperialist
I don't
right now.
Okay, Miss Pinochet. Let's hold on here for a little
Oh,
bit.
some of my thoughts lately would make Pinochet blush, to be honest.
That was
I've
how
gotten to the point.
The Civil War started was secession.
Yeah,
Don't you think that would happen
Well,
again?
maybe.
Well, another thing people need to
Maybe
realize
it
that
has to.
we are on a course for a very turbulent future. And I think secession and moving apart, just like Alan West suggested, I think it's going to be a resolution that would be the least harmful to the rest of America if we could just peacefully agree to, have
it would never
our
be.
own differences, to have our own states, to live how people want to live and still have a central national defense, but be able to respect each other's differences and enable more of states' rights and less of a big centralized government. I think that could be something that we should strive for, especially now, because when we look at the future, it's going to be a very bumpy ride for everyone.
I think we've reached a point where we're not even on the same page, especially morally.
Words don't even mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Like having a conversation makes no sense now.
Yeah, we can't. I don't understand how we can be a cohesive nation when people are speaking completely two different languages. Like I mean, I don't.
It's not that
see how
extreme. I mean, it's not completely different. We're both speaking English.
Right? Well, no, we're not. I mean,
People can learn.
yeah, but there's like dictionary definitions change to make no sense. Racism in the dictionary, I think Webster's or Merriam-Webster,
Yeah.
became circular. Like it became essentially meaningless. I did a bit where I read the definition, and it's a recursive loop because they use the word racism in the definition of racism. So it's like because it was like power exerted over someone on the basis of being racist or whatever, and it's like, okay, so it just never ends. No, there's a bunch of things that when I'm trying to have a conversation with someone, I have to ask them to define certain things, like systemic racism. What does that mean? You're gonna get a million different definitions because there's different tribes that say things and they mean different things. Racism and sexism clearly do not mean the same things to the right and to the left. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.